Okay, as we move forward into this call this morning, we are going to go a little bit different direction. And this is based on a conversation that we had a few weeks ago with a gentleman that was like, what's really important? What do I need to engage in as a daily diet to be able to grow and develop myself? And this thought came to my mind as I always love to try to connect this to other things, and I'd heard this some time ago, and it just makes a lot of sense as it's applicable to the question that was asked. And the question is, what should my mental diet be to be able to do well financially, to be able to do well with relationships, to be able to do well with my family and community and church and whatever it may be? But this concept really stood out to me as I was thinking on it. And, we look at the diets of animals and birds and different things around us. We notice how they're appreciated and certain ones are not appreciated. Let's take, for instance, fly. I don't think there's a whole lot of good in a fly, right? But yet you're well aware of what a fly's main diet is, right? We all understand that very well. Let's take a look at a bee. A bee has a uniquely different diet. Now, as we take a look back at the fly again, the fly can eat what the bee eats, but it also has a uniquely different diet, right? A diet that all of us are well aware of, and sometimes there's jokes made of it. But many people find themselves in those two categories. We're either a fly or we're a bee. The fly will eat both, but potentially it stays on the nasty side of things. The bee, however, does not spend 1 second iota in convincing the fly that honey tastes better than what the fly eats. The bee has no desire to convince the fly. It simply continues producing honey and living off of it. My challenge for you is to, with self-awareness, discover which one that you are. Obviously, you're on this call. I know which one you are. You're striving to feed off of something that serves you mentally, helps grow you, become all that you can be, and feed off of good, solid content, something that'll help you make better decisions and better choices and be able to take pressure at a level that most cannot comprehend. But let's go back to this example. Far too often, when we are feeding off of something good, we think everybody else should too. Remember, there's more flies than there are bees. And be aware that the bee spends zero time convincing the fly. It just keeps doing what's good and what it knows to do. And it's very careful to protect its good food. The fly, on the other hand, is as annoying as it can possibly be, and it brings nothing good and tries to make a mess out of everything it lands on. I guess to an extent. But my point with this is, let's bring this back home to all of us, is what am I receiving? Am I connecting myself to a system, scenario, concept that's challenging me to grow, challenging me to be all I can be? Am I working hard? A bee works very, very hard. It produces more than enough, as the scripture would say, shaken together and running over. It produces so much that even you and I can enjoy the fruits of its efforts. And the fly, on the other hand, just produces enough for itself. Matter of fact, it produces zero. It goes out and scavenges off of everything else. And yes, I know what you're thinking. Yeah, they're nasty. But let's come back again. If you're growing and developing yourself and you go to work, the people around you notice something different about you. They notice that there's just something really attracting about you. There's something different. When you show up, they want to be something like you, or they want some of what you have, whatever that is. They notice that you're not the same person you were a year ago. But what they're unaware of is you're a bee. You're living off of good mental food, and you're producing more than what you need. Other people get to experience a good, pleasant experience when they're in your presence. They realize that there's something different about this person. They enjoy being in your presence. Flies, on the other hand, get envious, and they're buzzing around all over the place and trying to annoy people and make a mess of whatever they touch. But if you are one of those people that is growing yourself and people are noticing it, just remember you're a bee. And also be very careful to remember that the bee spends 0 time convincing the fly that honey tastes better than the stuff that a fly lands on. My call is going to be a little bit short this morning. I want to congratulate you if you're both feeding mentally and spiritually on the honey of life and producing some for other people so that someone else might have a better life as well. I want to say congratulations. You guys truly are the heroes of the modern day era. Many of you guys are coaches and coaches in training, and you're striving to take this information on and help other people have the absolute best that they can possibly have. My tip, my hat to all of y'all. Everyone listening in, either the recording and or live. I want to encourage you to have a great day today, and as my friend would say, today is an amazing day, and if you don't believe it, try missing it. With that, do me a favor and don't settle for less than who you are. May God bless you.